my little honeybees. HoneyBeeKwen here, and this is Wondercast. If everything goes well, it will be 9:15, 16, who knows, 25. It's being recorded 9:14, so uh, so I basically got delayed a lot. A lot of things happened all at once, and some stuff I'll get into, some stuff I won't. We'll find out, won't we? And X that the only reason I call it that now is because Elon Musk.
Sorry, I ripped your dick off.
Oh, he's awake. Let me see if I can get him. Come here, baby. And hi, baby. This is little Ryan. And he had a little nap after we played. And he's my little baby. Yes, you are. And he's very smart. He's a very good boy. I'm working on gentle biting. But he's catching on pretty quick. You want to go up here? Yeah. So we'll see if he hangs out with us. He's a good boy. So he might hang out with us the rest of this video. We'll find out. So, let's see, what subjects do I want to get in what order? I think I'm going to get into fandom first and how absolutely insane it can be. Recently, I know there was a time I talked about the Dead by Daylight, and that led me into other fandoms, and God, they went a little nuts with a comment I made. Well, if you don't want people to respond to your stuff, you shouldn't make it public. And that kind of happened again. Not so badly, though, but I was definitely targeted, and I think for a very particular reason, when I talked about Bendy and the Ink Machine franchise. And I happen to really like that game. But I mentioned how I feel it's very repetitive with a lot of fillers and not a lot of stories. And I know they're coming out with a movie, and I said, well, if you're going to put like a lot of the story into the movie, I think that's a little unfair for fans of the games. And I pretty much put it that way, but the first post I said, not spending my money on the movie. And I have a right to say that.
Yes, Queen, Skinny Legend, Versace boots the house down, Slay Queen.
And people kind of jumped down my throat, including a parody account. And I'm sure I'm not the only one who said anything, and it wasn't even that negative about it. Things went nuts. And to me, people, if you don't want people posting on anything you say about the thing you love, don't make it public. Go private. make a private forum or something like that. And you're still going to get trolls one way or another. But I wasn't trolling. I was unhappy with how things were going with the franchise. Just like I was unhappy with Five Nights at Freddy's. And I'm a big Five Nights at Freddy's fan. But I have a right to have a different opinion than everyone else. And that's the problem with a lot of these fandoms, is if you have any different opinion or say anything different than the majority of people, or even say it differently than people seem to gauge, they will try to tear you apart. And if you stick up for yourself, that's way worse. The best should be saying nothing. Why? I have a right to stick up for what I believe in. And then even if you try to walk away, they will try to drag you back in, and they will not leave you alone until like a couple of days later. And sometimes even then, they will find it, especially if they're someone who, how to put this politely, not even a follower, but follows you, if you know what I mean.
Stalker.
And they will go on their other account, if you know what I mean. I think I'm making it pretty obvious. I mean, it's so frustrating, especially if they're younger people. Like, if they tend to be under the age of like 30, they don't seem to grasp that people have different, I mean, even adults, that people will have different opinions than you, And it's not like I was, first off, I did want to just say, no, I'm not spending my money and walk away, which is a reasonable response. People will say that kind of stuff in real life. And I could have just, people can just leave it like that and leave me alone, but they chose not to. And then when I gave a credible response to them, kind of, well, it's just you fishing or whatever, I'm like, nah. You can see it as that. And then when I gave my reasons as to why, and it was a whole thread as to why, they still were like, oh my God, how dare you. I'm like, that's really like too bad. It's called my opinion, and I even said that's my opinion. So I think, that's one of the reasons I kind of want two separate X's and two separate Facebooks and all these things, is I don't think teenagers are even ready to mingle with adults, because just don't have the maturity to have dialect with adults. And just like kids are like, we don't want adults playing kid games. That's fine. That's fine if you don't want that. We don't want you playing adult games. When I'm playing a game like Overwatch or whatever, I don't want to hear a child playing with me. It might not be M for mature, but even if it's PG-13, because they say curse words and they're smoking and they have innuendos, and if you have to look up the word what an innuendo is, you're probably way too young to be playing a game. Overwatch. I mean, even a game like Fortnite, where there's violence. There might not be blood, but there's violence and there's cursing if you're playing together. And there are some teenagers and kids who shouldn't be playing that are just way too immature, and then make it not fun for anyone else. And I understand that you're like, oh, Fortnite's a kid's game or whatever. Well, there's still guns and violence, and you're smashing people with, melee weapons and stuff. I don't even play it anymore, but should a child like you be playing it? I personally don't think so. So you don't want us touching your things? That's fine. Don't touch ours then. Stay away. To me, once it says PG-13 or 12 if you're from another country or whatever, that means you don't get to join. And I'm very serious about that. You really make it not fun for anyone else. You tend to be the people who like to throw games or hack games or whatever. I understand adults do the same thing, but instead of complaining that adults are joining this, adults are doing that, we're complaining about you too. So you want to make things fair? Then let's be fair about this and don't join our stuff, and we won't join your stuff. And to me, that would be fair. Now moving on to my other subject, because I really don't want to spend too long on stuff. I went over Ryan, and he has been brilliant. I'm not going to go into him too much, only because I could make a totally separate video on him, and I might. Pretty traumatic. And a lot happened. I'm not getting into it. And then recently, I fell in giant food. Yes, I was hurt, but I was hungry. We didn't have lunch. It was like close to 2 already. And the dog wanted to go home. He does get cranky like a toddler if he doesn't sleep, like real cranky. And we went on a really long walk, and so like it was time to go home. And so in pain, and I mean in pain, and let's see, I don't know if it will capture the bruises. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I took pictures, especially if you please follow me on my other social media. On X, I talk a lot, and that's because I have a lot of who I consider family members there. I have family members who moved to Blue Sky also, but I don't talk a lot there, and that's for strange reason I'm not gonna get into, and whatever. But they're also on X, and I have their email. I mean, a lot of family people who I consider family members, I have their email and other social media. If I really, for some reason, want to disappear from X or Blue Sky or something, I mean, I can. It's not the biggest deal to me. I'm not trying to be, a big influencer. I could. I mean, I really could if I wanted to. One of the things I loved in school was English, and my English teachers did compliment me on my writing. I'm allowed to boast a little bit. I know I'm a good writer. I take pride in my writing, and I love to write. And I hope to maybe, wouldn't hurt to make some money off of my writing. Even my father, who was who he was, complimented my writing. And to get that gratification from him meant something to me. So it wouldn't hurt. But basically, after a while, the swelling went down and it hurt a lot more. I mean, with fibromyalgia and everything, things just hurt so much more than they normally would. I have fibromyalgia, sciatica, arthritis, blah, 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 blah. And if you want to find the links, I have that, including now I made sure I have an email address. If you really wanted to get in touch with me, you could. If you couldn't think of any other way, it's a Gmail, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So I made sure I was talking about Ryan. And I mean, like I said, I'll probably make a separate video about him some other time, because man, his story was not good. He is a true rescue, a real champion baby boy. And he is so smart. Does he have his issues? Don't we all? But he is so smart. Is really responsive to training, and just an amazing, amazing dog. Now, something I did change from the topics I wanted to go over, because they showed it recently, and it's pretty obvious from my aesthetic of the brand I'm going for. I love Hazbin Hotel and Hella Boss. And when I saw the trailer with, here's some spoilers if you haven't seen it, the new trailer for what's going to be coming out October 29th, unless something goes wrong, which with them, who knows. Before I continue, I just wanted to show you, yes, Ryan is with us. It's snap time. So, with the V's taking over Hazbin Hotel, with the new character, and so I'm quite happy about that. I was like, oh my god, yes, please. I'm so excited. I was writing this whole thing for Hazbin Hotel, and then I got so sidetracked with so many things happening in my life, including the same old normal stuff that was really, I mean, again, particularly on X. I mean, I've been pretty vocal about it, and I have every right to. But it's it's been a roller coaster, and people who don't even know me, I had to unprivate my video. No, it was not good, and it wasn't even everything. And deny, deny, deny. It doesn't matter. What can you do? Basically dealing with children. It makes it harder, because usually adults dealing with adults, and they're adults, but you wouldn't know it. It definitely makes it harder, because normally adults who deal with other adults, the problem wouldn't have been as bad. But what can you do? And I can't say that. I mean, my father was an adult, so you wouldn't know. So moving on from that.
Sorry, I ripped your dick off.
Because, I mean, obviously I talk about it often, but there's a reason for it. It's on my mind a lot. It's a trauma that I find more traumatic than a lot of things. And I don't know how long it's going to take to get over if I ever do. And that's also, that's something also I also wanted to talk about was, you know, I'm now pursuing friendships and more than.
I want someone that I can hold, want someone wanting me. I want to feel how it feels to be, oh, somebody, someone, some sweet lover's lover.
And well, how that's going to go. And that's one of the reasons I've been very, very honest early on with the people I've been trying to have any kind of relationship with, be it friends or more than. It's not easy to talk about, but I'm not going to leave it out. I mean, it's a part of who I am. And also, if the other people involved don't really like me talking about it, that's also kind of too bad. You shouldn't have done anything in the first place.
You sure that's him?
Yeah.
Positive?
I don't know.
You don't know if you're positive?
I don't know what positive means.
It means you're sure.
Yes.
Yes, what?
Yes, I'm sure that's Ellis Brittle.
So, it really kind of bothers me more than anything that they keep saying, well, it's a lie. Where my story hasn't changed and theirs has. Well, if yours is, the truth, then why does it change? Stories that are fiction can change. Stories that are the truth don't change, and mine has never changed. And, you would think that other people would see theirs as a red flag. So, and that was always my point. So I find it a little hilarious that his friends say liar, 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 and well, your own friend keeps changing the story around. So uh that's one of the reasons I laugh so much, because it's funny for someone to call someone else a clown. I mean, who's the clown? And their age does play a big part of it.
Say what?
Maturity is a big part of how everything went, including, with other adults I dealt with, including with my father and family members and everything, and that's why I say there's a lot of people who should, and well, we had a little incident with the dog, so I lost my train of thought, but that's okay. Like I've been saying, we gave enough time to all this stuff, and I try not to talk about it all that much, but it pops up ever so often because it has been hurting me mentally and sometimes physically, and that's the truth. So I always speak the truth, and that's that. So I wanted to talk a little bit more about season 2 Hazbin Hotel.
Hell will rise!
And how excited I am about Hazbin Hotel season 2. Especially, I'm really excited to learn about Alistair's past, and we get to see him in human's form. I did not watch any of the spoilers. I'm like really mad whoever leaked it. Again, more leaks, and all the people who shared it. I don't think that's right. I want to see things authentically how they were meant to be as the TV show goes. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about just the show in general. I think, to me, the animation, voice acting, everything, the music, everything's just wonderful, including Hella Boss. And they showed in the trailer where the universes combined with Hella Boss, Lizzo, Silent O, and Charlie kind of talking together and pulled everything. I thought that was a very clever trailer to show for them being added to Prime, even though Prime is a little nuts whatever. I have it at least now, so I don't mind too much, but it's a little crazy. I'm just so happy. I'm also happy that you can order things, their merchandise from Amazon, because man, if you get something like uTunes from uTunes itself, it takes forever to get to you. So at least Amazon comes a little faster. So I'm happy about that. I'm so excited. I can't wait. Let's talk a little about Halloween, my favorite holiday anyway.
Spooky, scary skeletons send shivers down your spine. Shrieking skulls will shock your soul, seal your doom tonight.
And I don't know here if we could do like decorations or whatever, but I'm going to see what we can and cannot put up. I brought them over from Pittsburgh to here, and we'll see what we can put up. I want to try to get some more. I'm going to ask if we actually get children. I hope we do, because I like making them smile by giving out candy since I can't trick or treat anymore. I'll probably dress up a little bit. I don't know. Not like they'll know who I am if I do Alistair or something, and I can't do the full costume. I don't have it. But a wig and some makeup is fun anyway. And I'm hoping to do some more. I definitely want to do some more covers before season 2 comes out, since my old channel, poofed magically. Um, so, I'm hoping everything goes well. I mean, I wish adults could go trick-or-treating only because it's so much fun. I know adults like do adult parties and everything like that, but I I'm definitely, have social anxiety that I'm working on. That's why everything's so hard when it comes to stuff like that. But I probably could do a party or whatever, but I don't know. Maybe if I definitely went with friends and stuff and they did not go, okay, we're going to talk to those people you hang out here, blah, blah, blah. No, I would be like, okay, I'm out. I couldn't be abandoned by people like that. That would be too much. I would not stay. I don't care. Like, I thought it was so much fun. I used to go around with my friends and go trick or treating, and we would have so much fun. And then even when it was just me and my sister, like little kids, and then when we were just older and we went with her friends because they needed an older sister to go around with them, and I volunteered because it was fun. We had so much fun. I mean, I used to love to dress up and everything like that. So let me know down below in the comments, is Halloween your favorite holiday, or what's your favorite holiday? I would love to know. Also, I just want to show off my boo-boos. I know I had that at the beginning, only because I didn't even think I would talk about them. But yes, I'm planning to get like the what are they called? Exciting macarons. Like at least one, and then maybe a sit. But I definitely seem to really like what are they called? The panda. I don't know. I'll put a picture up, of what it is. Sakura panda, you found me, whatever. But they're so expensive. But they seem to be out for a while. I don't really like the Why So Serious collection so much because one, I don't even like that little boo boo that much, and I don't really care. So if I'm gonna get something kind of Halloweeny from Pop Mart, which the one that is in this area is not that close. I don't have, maybe when I have a car finally, which again, if you follow me on social media, I think I posted on everything that case I was waiting for. Oh my god, it took so long. I got approved, but I feel so bad for other people trying to go for the same case. They're like, they have limited funds, so it kind of really sucks. So let me get my Labubu's real quick. They all come with a free outfit. And as you can see, I have, I'm picking up the wrong one, Happiness and Serenity. And I really wanted Serenity. So I'm really happy about that. Let me put it down. Hopefully the dog doesn't go, oh, delicious. Because I don't want to put them back just yet. And the place I get it from, like I said, comes with free fit. And I love, honestly, my favorite so far from Little Boo Boos is Big Into Energy. And I'm not going to be one of those people where I don't, when I collect things, I don't need everything in the collection. I just go for what I like best. Uh, I'm not big into collecting stuff. And plus, now that I have a smaller room, where am I going to put everything? Like, I need another piece of furniture anyway, and I had to get rid of a piece of furniture. Like, there's a separate room, but it has like two of my furniture in it, and it's still like not fun to have my stuff in a separate room, and I still can't really fit it all in because I had bigger closets and everything. So I had to throw out a lot of my stuff, like, so it was not fun to part with a lot of memories and stuff. And well, anyway, let's talk about dating like a tiny bit. I know I was gonna get into all these things, but uh adopting Ryan cost a big chunk, which was fine. I love Ryan. So I had to put off like going to bars and stuff because I had to do more stuff mentally for me and for the dog and everything. Also buy more stuff for my room to make it more of a room. And I still don't have that lamp, like I said, and everything. So I'm working on it. It's just taking time. But like I said, I think at this point I'd rather date not only people more local than online, but also, I mean, Facebook dating is okay and everything, but I mean, just like if I meet someone at the bar, sure, they're going to be like talking to a bunch of women or whatever. I'm meeting them in person. I know who I'm talking to. It's so much more comfortable for me to know, like, even at the bar, karaoke, whatever. I know that who I'm talking, or like a convention or something. I know that the person I'm talking to is that person, especially with technology today, like not back when I was talking to, mm, but it's so much better now than it was even a few years ago. Like, I want to know the person I'm talking to is the person I'm talking to. And so face to face is so much better than even like a video chat. So I need to be safe and I need to know who I'm talking to. And I'm not going through what I went through ever again. I don't want to go through that ever again. So, I also, I hope this, was a little more toned down from the last ones. Um, and I hope I touched on topics that found enjoyable. I know things were a little chopped up and everything. I mean, because of the mic dying and the big gap, and I had to deal with the dog and everything, might look a little choppy. I apologize for that, but what can you do? Life happens. So I'm gonna end it here. I thank you so much for watching. If you like what you've seen in any of my videos or this one, uh, please, please, please subscribe. It will help me so much. I mean, after my losing my channel due to spite, um, I would love to at least get 100 before my birthday, which is February 13th. That would mean so much to me. So please share it with your friends. Any of my videos that you really liked or liked enough, that would be great. So please subscribe, share, like, comment. All these things really help my channel grow. I would really appreciate it. That would be wonderful. Um, I mean, I would really love to hit 100 before I before my next birthday. That would be awesome. Thank you so much for watching. And like always, I'll see you next time. Bye.